Welcome back, everyone, to our Gems of Cinema Spotlight. Today, we're diving deep, really deep, into a newer film called Caddo Lake.
Oh yeah, this one's been on my radar. Intriguing title.
It really is. And the film itself, well, my first take was just how atmospheric it is, super twisty, makes you feel like something's, I don't know, lurking.
I get that. It definitely has this, pervasive sense of unease, doesn't it? You're constantly trying to figure things out.
Exactly. Just when you think you've got it.
Yeah.
Nope. Another layer.
Mm-hmm. Keeps you guessing.
So, okay, the basics. Caddo Lake, it came out in 2024. Directed and written by Logan George and Celine Held.
Ah, okay. Weren't they involved with Servant, the Apple TV show?
Yes, that's the connection. They did 3 episodes, and apparently that's what got M. Night Shyamalan interested enough to produce this film.
Right, okay. That makes sense then. Shyamalan producing. You kind of know you might be in for some narrative curveballs. Sets a certain expectation, maybe.
Totally. You brace yourself for the unexpected, I guess. Psychological stuff, maybe a big twist.
Definitely. And the cast.
Right, the cast. We've got Dylan O'Brien playing Paris, Eliza Scanlen as Ellie.
Oh, Scanlen's great.
Yeah, she really is. And Lauren Ambrose is in it, too, as Celeste. Caroline Falk plays Anna, the little girl who goes missing.
That's the trigger for the plot, right? The disappearance.
Exactly. And then you've also got Sam Hennings, Diana Hopper, Eric Lange, David Maldonado. It's a pretty solid lineup. Seems like they needed a good ensemble to handle all the different threads.
Yes, especially for a character-driven mystery, which it sounds like this is shaping up to be. You need actors who can really ground it.
Definitely. Okay, so numbers. How did it land with people? IMDb has it at a 6.8 out of 10.
Okay, decent. Based on how many ratings?
Quite a few, actually. 42,000. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a bit higher. Critics gave it a 76%.
Oh, certified fresh territory, potentially.
Close, yeah. Based on 41 reviews. And the audience score is even a little better. 79% from over 1,000 ratings.
Interesting. So audiences maybe liked it even more than critics.
Seems that way. Metacritic, though, paints a slightly different picture. A Metascore of 55.
Ah, okay. So more mixed there from the professional critics. Yeah. That often happens with twisty genre films, doesn't it?
It really does. Divisive, you could say. Maybe it's one of those where if you click with its specific style, you love it, but if not, less so.
Yeah, sounds plausible. So worth checking out maybe if you like things that are a bit different, even if critics weren't universally raving.
Good way to put it. Runtime, IMDb says 1 hour, 43 minutes.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes lists 1 hour, 45, so around that mark. Standard feature length.
Pretty manageable.
Yeah. Rated PG-13. The usual suspects. Thematic elements, some disturbing or bloody images, brief, strong language. Nothing too extreme.
Gotcha. And where can people find it? Theatrical?
No, this one went straight to streaming. It landed on Max back on October 10th, 2024.
Ah, okay. Straight to Max. That's interesting, especially if we get into the visuals later. Sometimes you feel like strong cinematography begs for a big screen.
That's a really good point. And yeah, they'll definitely touch on that. So the premise, we mentioned the 8-year-old girl, Anna, disappearing on Caddo Lake. That event basically stirs everything up. Past deaths, other disappearances connected to the lake, they all start bubbling to the surface and linking together in weird ways.
Sounds like the lake itself is key.
Yeah.
Like a character.
Totally. And it messes with this already broken family's history. We follow 2 main people caught up in it. Ellie, who's the missing girl's older stepsister.
Played by Scanlen.
Yep. And Paris, Dylan O'Brien's character, who's dealing with his own past tragedy connected to the same lake.
Okay, so they both have personal stakes drawn into this central mystery surrounding the lake and the disappearance. Classic setup, but the late focus adds something.
Yeah, it feels like the setting is going to be more than just scenery. It's active somehow.
Intriguing.
All right, let's get into the review proper, the writing. Obviously, with Shyamalan producing, you feel that twisty influence.
That it looms large.
One review had this great analogy like being on a fishing rod.
Oh, how so?
Like, it's a slow catch, you're waiting, then bam, it pulls you hard into the mystery.
I like that. Captures that slow burn feeling some people mentioned. Building suspense gradually.
Exactly. Some found that really effective, really atmospheric. But others felt it was just slow. Took too long to get going, you know.
It's a balance, isn't it? That deliberate pacing. Sometimes it works wonders for mood. Other times it just tests your patience. I was like, this film might split people on that front.
Absolutely. And the twists themselves. While they aimed to surprise, apparently some viewers saw certain things coming.
Ah, the predictability factor. That can undermine a mystery if you feel too far ahead of it.
Yeah. A good twist needs to feel earned, right? Like the clues were there, but you just missed them. Not totally out of left field, but not signposted a mile off either.
Exactly. It's a fine line. Sounds like Caddo Lake might have wobbled on that line for some. Did the reveals feel organic or kind of forced? That's the key question.
Good question. Moving to the acting, though. Seems like Dylan O'Brien really nailed it as Paris.
Yeah. What were people saying?
Just that he was spot on portraying someone carrying that kind of haunted past. Really believable, apparently.
That's vital in a film like this, isn't it? If the plot gets complex or weird, you need that strong emotional anchor from the lead performance to keep you invested.
Totally. And Eliza Scanlen as Ellie, also getting loads of praise. A real standout.
Good, good. Strong leads.
Then there's Lauren Ambrose as the mom, Celeste. One review noted something interesting. Felt her character was maybe a bit underserved early on.
Oh.
Yeah, but that she became much better written and more compelling later in the film. So maybe a slow burn for her character arc, too.
That can happen in mysteries. Characters reveal their depth as their connection to the puzzle becomes clearer. Might reward patience from the viewer.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, visuals. Cinematography. This came up a lot in user reviews.
Positively, I hope.
Overwhelmingly, yes. People raving about gorgeous cinematography, beautiful scenery, really capturing Caddo Lake. Some were actually bummed it didn't get a cinema release because it looked so good.
See, that goes back to your earlier point about streaming versus theatrical. Sounds like they really used the location well. That natural beauty can add so much atmosphere.
It really can. However, there was one comment mentioning some odd-looking CGI-ish type imagery.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So maybe not entirely seamless. While the natural stuff is stunning, maybe some digital effects moments didn't quite land, potentially pulled someone out of it.
That can be jarring, especially if the rest is so grounded and atmospheric. Hopefully those moments are minimal.
Let's hope. Music. Didn't find much specific commentary on the score in the reviews we saw.
Okay, something to listen out for ourselves then.
Yeah. But directing George and Heldigan, they were apparently really inspired by the real Caddo Lake. It's sort of dangerous energy.
Oh, dangerous energy. I like that. Suggests they were trying to bake that feeling right into the film's tone.
Seems like it. And one review did praise their coordination, the pacing and tone feeling unified.
That's good. A cohesive vision from the writer-directors is usually a plus. Helps keep you immersed even when the story gets complicated.
Right. Themes then. Mystery. Thriller, obviously. But there were hints of more. One Letterboxd review predicted, and I quote, time shit.
Okay. Like time travel or non-linear stuff.
It wasn't explicit, compared it maybe to the film Time Crimes. So yeah, suggesting maybe elements that mess with time, adding another layer of weirdness.
Wow, okay. That could definitely complicate things, make it more disorienting, maybe demand a rewatch to piece it all together.
Could be. Beyond that potential time stuff, though, it's definitely exploring loss, guilt, and just the whole mysterious vibe of the lake itself. It feels like the location is a theme, you know?
Yeah, like a symbol for the past or buried secrets or how tragedy lingers in a place, how the environment shapes the story.
Well put. So, wrapping up the critical view, Rotten Tomatoes called it a windingly intricate and delirious sci-fi thrill ride.
Delirious, okay. High praise, but also hints at maybe being a bit much for some.
Exactly. Some critics did find it overcomplicated. One felt it stretched a shorter film's worth of plot into feature length. But others really liked the narrative games, the ambition, and praised the actors for committing to it.
So it's ambitious, maybe bites off a little more than it can chew for some critics, but others admired the attempt and the performances.
Pretty much. And the user reviews kind of mirror that. Some were totally hooked, loved the twists, called it a mindfuck in a good way.
Right. They enjoyed the complexity.
Yeah. Others like the build-up, how it eventually ties together. Even people confused by the plot often like the acting. But yeah, that potential time travel thing seemed to put some viewers off.
So strong reactions all around.
Yeah.
Seems to depend heavily on your taste for complex, atmospheric, maybe slightly messy genre stories.
Definitely prioritizes atmosphere and plot intricacy over neatness, it seems. Strong acting helps carry it.
So, the million-dollar question. If you had to put a score on it, synthesizing all that, out of 100.
Okay. Thinking about the positive atmosphere, the strong leads, but also the mixed critical view and the potential narrative tangles, I'd land somewhere around a 74 out of 100.
74. Yeah, that feels right. It acknowledges the good stuff, the mood, O'Brien, Scanlen, but also nods to the fact that its complexity or maybe some visual hiccups might not work for everyone.
Exactly. It's got strengths, but it's not a perfect execution for all tastes.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, to wrap up our deep dive on Caddo Lake, definitely an atmospheric, twisty ride, elevated by O'Brien and Scanlen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you like being kept guessing, and you don't mind a narrative that maybe asks a bit more of you, it could be well worth seeking out on Max. It's intriguing, even if a bit murky.
Leaves you thinking, maybe. Which brings up a final thought. What's the value, really, in films that embrace that kind of ambiguity and complexity, even if they risk confusing or losing some of the audience along the way?
Ooh, that's a good one to chew on. Is neatness always best?
Something to ponder.
Definitely. Well, if you out there have seen Caddo Lake, let us know what you thought. We'd love to hear it. Or hey, if there are other films, gems, or just head-scratchers you want us to tackle in a future deep dive, send those suggestions our way.
Yeah, always looking for the next film to explore.
Absolutely. Until next time.